Going down, world. It's your boy Cowboy Richard checking in, man. As y'all can see, it's that day. Friendsgiving. Oh, Frostgiving, my fault. Yep, Frostgiving. 12-hour potluck Friendmas LiveStream going down. We just in here kicking flavor around until we actually decide to head to the venue. But today is that day, man, if y'all don't know. It is definitely that day. We got some artists coming through, entrepreneurs. So, man, it should be a interesting day to say the least. People are already going to be coming through the event space. So it is going down, man. As y'all can see, man, today also is going to kick off. Today's also going to kick off our back to school drive. My goal is to be able to provide 25 backpacks for kids to go back to school with. What we doing now? 25 backpacks for boys to go back to school with. Yeah, 25 backpacks for boys and girls to go back to school with, because I remember being a kid and just knowing like how things go when your parents focus on making sure you provided with the holidays and the Christmas. Everything you don't necessarily get what you need to get. So we decided to take it upon ourselves to provide a way for kids to have some supplies when they go back to school, at least for the first week, so they ain't annoying the teacher. You feel me? So that's just what it is, what we on today. If y'all ain't doing nothing, y'all pull up. See the address down there, 9223 Main Street, man. It's going down. It's going down. I'm always up. Doe just never always up. I'm always up in this bitch, whether or not my door open. That remains to be the question, man. Cowboy Richie checking in. We live Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, man. It's finna be a beautiful day, man. If y'all don't know, man, this whole month I've been celebrating shit. Last 6 weeks probably, I've been celebrating low-key my 10th year. I'm in my 11th season officially of entrepreneurship. I like to say that because, you know, I come from sports. And so people be like, oh, I've been doing something for 10 years. I like to say I'm in my 11th season because technically speaking, the 10th year is over with. The day after the 10th year, you're now working on that 11th year. So me playing sports in life, my 11th season. So I'm in my 11th season of entrepreneurship, man. It feels good to be able to say I made it this far, because I remember when I was 21, I always just telling myself, like, bro, don't quit, and you'll at least give it 5 to 10 years, and then you can say, like, all right, I got 5 to 10 years of experience, what we doing? And then I got 5 years in and got re-energized in 2020. And then I was like, well, I didn't achieve what I wanted. So because I used to have this saying, hindsight is 20/20. So I just updated it to hindsight is 20/30. And I'm gonna do it again when 20/30 come. Hindsight is 20/40, because I think it was Matthew McConaughey said the guy he's going to be in 10 years is who inspired him. And I thought that was very powerful, because that allowed him to also stay focused on the mission and the goal and not get complacent. Always looking, to the head and not to things that are behind, allows you to, pursue that. But as y'all can see, man, we have a potluck going on today, as well as we're kicking off the donations. Now, what would be in these backpacks? I'm gonna show y'all simple. You're gonna come in a backpack, some paper, either gonna be loose or notebook. Gonna get you pencil, sharpener, some crayons. Now people gonna be like, well, what's up with them crayons? Every age does use crayons. I don't care what age you in. You still got art as a senior. So, or you probably got some little siblings or little cousins or something, Tell them come get a backpack, double up, get them your crayons, since you so, oh, I'm grow up. Well, why you getting a backpack if you grew up? You should have your backpack. But I've been a senior before, and I know how that senioritis kick in junior year. Cowboy Richie, man, checking in. But that's what's going down, man. And y'all can see one backpack helps to donate, create $15 creates one of those backpacks. $75 equals 5 backpacks. You donate $150. 10 backpacks. You donate $375. Damn, I can't even see the fly. Hold on. Oh, $375 will create 25 backpacks. So if you want to just create, donate $375, so that way we, hit that number for sure, then we good. Technically speaking, we already down one, so we just need 24. But we gonna get there and we gonna have that kickoff the 3rd. We're gonna be giving them away because our kids go back to school on the 5th. So yeah, I just think it's very important to go ahead and continue to give back to the community in different ways. We tend to think about back to school only during the beginning of the school, but like I said, man, I used to sit in class. First of all, I used to get into fights all the time coming back from school because we didn't get anything growing up for Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas, so boys would say, "Oh, y'all po." Ooh. And boys know we wasn't poor, and that used to be an ego thing for us because boys know we weren't poor because we was the only family that had 2 parents and everybody was at our house every day eating our snacks and stuff. So they knew we weren't poor, but our egos used to make us angry because it's like, bro, my mama be helping you, and you finna sit here and try to play my mama, but you finna sit here and try to play my daddy, boy, like you don't be in his yard eating his food because your mama don't really cook. So every day, every break for a few years growing up, one of the 3, me, Buddy, and Andre, got suspended or got into a squabble in that first week because boys said some spicy stuff and we had to dead that because you be in our yard and you finna try to come to our yard after school today. Some boys used to try to say, "Oh, y'all broke, y'all ain't getting nothing." Ooh. Bro, you didn't have no new shoes until now. When school started, you didn't have no shoes. See, and that used to be my argument with a lot of people. Like, boys didn't have stuff to start school. I'm talking about we could tell you was wearing the same uniform and shoes from last school year. Not saying there's anything wrong with that because shoes and shoes, clothes is clothes. As long as you got some, that's all that matters. But boys couldn't talk to me when you still rocking last year's shit and gotta wait to Christmas to get your new shit. Every time school started, I got new shit. Even between the year we was getting new things. So my parents got smart. and started, not necessarily celebrate Christmas, but they used to make sure we had some new stuff coming back from the break, so that way getting kind of like dead that, because where we from, we only got one or two middle schools. We got more elementaries than anything, but we probably got like 5 elementaries, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school. So it ain't all that you study packing niggas out and you can move stuff. Nah, we don't live in Houston where you can just keep moving schools because there's a million schools within your district. Nah, it wasn't like that. So my parents had to get smart and get wise and figure out how they was going to be able to get these 3 boys through school without fighting for this particular topic. They were trying to find any way to get topics out of our head to fight for, because just being who we were, that fighting was like part of our religions. Basketball and fighting, that's what we believed in. Them were our gods growing up. And usually it is either one of the two started the other one. A fight would start basketball and basketball would start a fight. Either way, one of the two is always involved. Even when one is not involved, then you know the other one not too far behind. We can get that cracking too. That was just how we was rocking back in the day growing up as kids, trying to, run through Ben Hall, but trying to figure out, who we was becoming. But man, it's finna be a beautiful day though, because all that just reminds me of how we got here. 1263 giving boys days. Boy in the back going to 7 games and boys can't keep up. So that just remind me of how far we done came, even from just shooting that ball back in behind 1263. And now we in the great state of Texas, putting this demonstration down, setting this legacy, trying to create those things that little kid still had in his head when he was running around. So I'm just very grateful and thankful that I really grew up to be who I said I was gonna be. So I want to take the time to thank, like, not like Snoop said, I want to thank me. And like Conor McGregor, I don't want to thank nobody. I want to thank a few bodies. I want to thank every era of rich, because without them, y'all wouldn't get the rich that y'all see today. Them kids was very, 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 very ambitious, persistent in becoming who I am today. So I take no fun and play with making sure that I do what I'm supposed to do, so that way the 40-year-old version say, yeah, you kept doing what the younger ones was doing. And on top of that, the younger ones don't look at me like, bro, you fucked up. How you mess up everything we did? And then you got all the way to the finish line and fumble. But that's usually what happened. Boys get seen as a little bit of sunlight. But because you've been doing it like me 10 years or X minus Z, that weight of that is louder than that light that you see at the end of the tunnel, and then you start crashing out. But, I done paid my dues, so I just don't see me crashing out. I just don't see it, man. We too close. I can smell it. I can see it. I can feel it. The atmosphere, the energy, the aura around me is just different. It's different. I really did it. I really stayed persistent and became, not from an accomplished standpoint, like, oh, let me pop my shit, my ego. I know what I'm saying is, I'm thankful that I stayed down to become who I said I was going to become and fought through the trials and tribulations. If you know my story, this was no easy route. We didn't hop on Greyhounds about this, fought baby mamas, brothers about this, went to jail about this, almost lost our life about this, lost a lot of friends and relationships. I did lose myself a lot of times. Had to recreate me a lot of times. But I'm thankful, because all that brought me to the people that I'm with now. And then the people that I'm with now, whether they was there from the beginning or from wherever they picked up in my story, because of all those years of work, this version of Richard, people trust to do what he say he gonna do. When I open my mouth and say that, like, I'm capable of doing X, Y, and Z, I now have not only a resume to speak to that, but I now have other people that is like, no, I was on road. I seen, bro. He ain't had locks then. He ain't had no beard. he had a bullhorn in his nose, septum piercing. driving around with a drop top. Traded all that in to become what y'all see today, man. A bike riding field figure. That's how we gonna say it. But I'm very, very, very thankful because without all those things, man, we don't get here. And I know that. I'm very conscious and aware of that. So I never want that to be not at the forefront of what it is that I do, because I'm very thankful for to be in my position, because I didn't know what the 10 years was going to look like afterwards, or the 5 years, hindsight 2020. I just knew that if I didn't quit, I could become something I never even seen before in myself. You see what I'm saying? I knew that I was dreaming here, and I knew that I'm gonna say this, you don't get anything you think you're gonna get in life. And what I mean by that is that nothing goes the way we think it's gonna go. So even when we plan for these big dreams and goals, we either gonna get two things, more or less, but we ain't getting what we think we getting. And we ain't getting what we want we getting. It's either more or less. And so I can honestly say I didn't have no expectations as far as outside of just really just being better than who I was and consistent. And I told myself, well, if I do that, then I would see what I became. And then if I decide to continue, then those next years would be about domination. And that's the era I'm in. Foundation era was first. I built my foundation. I know who I am. I know what it is that I do. I know what I bring to the table. And we don't try to do nothing less or nothing more. Now that's solidified, from here is on about specializing, because if anybody knows me knows that I'm not a specializer. That's one thing I am not, but that's what I also realize is why I'm not where I want to be, is part of the reason that the world don't truly know what to come for me for. But I think that also is because the world had never known me at first either. So I went from a kid to adulthood. So when you going from just coming outside, making a name for yourself, of course they don't know what it is and who you is and what you bring to the table. Now, 10 years later, they have a better understanding because I have a solid foundation that I've created with years and years and years of work of the same stuff. So now they can say, okay, yeah, we know a little bit of what he's doing on there. Like, it's like the Charlotte Web is becoming more and more legible, more and more understandable, discoverable, I be able to identify. So with now that hitting and me stepping into this new era, what I have created is a character for myself that I didn't even try to create, but always wanted to. I wasn't consciously trying to do it. My subconscious knew this was my goal, this was my dream. So Cowboy Richie came out of that. On top of all the other monikers that I had, from whether that was not like Nightlight, being a promoter, being a musician, just being a figure in the community, I was given monikers. A lot of the names that y'all see that I have and I call myself, I didn't give myself those names. I think the only name I did give myself was Prez. And that was just because I was always the president of everything, literally. When I was president in school, I was the president of my pledge line. I'm the president of my gang. So it was just only fitting that I needed some type of name, and Skipper was my best friend's name. The great Bob Marley, that's his nickname. Cap, it's a million caps. It wasn't no Prez at the time I thought of this. Then to make it go further, Prez is an acronym, because everything I do is an acronym. It stands for presenting real evidence zealously. And that's just who I am. Everything I do is real and authentic. And you're going to see that passion, that fire behind it. You can hear it. You can feel it every time I speak on whatever I speak about. So the name is very fitting of me because it's really who I am. I do not do nothing, present real evidence, and I do it passionately as fuck. So much zeal to the point to where it'd be like you rub people the wrong way because you try to put people, I'm the type of person that the way I like to work exposes everybody, including my insecurities, my deficiencies. Everybody's deficiencies is going to get exposed based on how hard I'm trying to go, because I'm trying to figure out what I need to work on. So when you one of those type of people, usually what happens is you find yourself in predicaments and positions where life don't go the way you want it to go. See, that's that thing again. It don't go the way you want it to go. But I will promise you this. I didn't know where I will be 10 years from now, but I do know, and I will say this. I got more than what I thought. Yeah. I got more than what I thought. And from a who I am standpoint. Now, if you would have asked me what I would have thought I would have achieved from a materialistic standpoint, we was already having more money than what I thought to do with it. So I just knew that was just going to be the trend. I thought I would be a millionaire by now, cash-wise. I would have $1 million in cash today. You would have asked me what 30-year-old Richard would be doing, $1 million in cash. Didn't happen. I made $1 million over this time, but I don't have $1 million. So that's the only thing. But what that taught me is that when I was acquiring all those things, I got a taste of everything I thought I wanted. And I didn't want majority of the things I thought I wanted. What I really wanted more than anything was really this work. I love to work. That's one thing I discovered about me through this journey. I'm surprised at how much I love this shit. Because this is not, I didn't know what I wanted to do coming out of high school. I just knew we weren't going to be broke. I knew that. I knew I wasn't going to let niggas stand on my neck. I knew niggas weren't going to play with my name. I knew that when I got done with this, the name going to ring bells. They going to know my game. I knew that, but I didn't know how. And once I started putting my hands on things and things became a little bit clearer and clearer and clearer every step I took, we got here to the point to where now I'm a barber. And I be using ChatGPT if y'all don't know. And ChatGPT told me from my idea that I gave it, that told me I'm going to put myself in a position to be the digital DJ Screw mixed with Big Tigger, James Prince with clippers in his hands. Politicking with my business partner, Unstoppable Bartender. You know, I think I'm tough, so I had to add the ending Kimbo Slice. So I'm digital DJ Screw with Big Tigger and Jay Prince with clippers in his hands and Kimbo Slice on the end. So I don't know what a human with that type of energy would look like or move like, but I guess I'm him. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. It kind of spoke to everything that I do and type of person I am. Even with the James Prince, if you know, do you know what he stands for, what his reputation is? But then if you from Houston, then you know a little bit more than what his reputation is. You kind of see a little bit behind the reputation. We get to kind of see the man. And the man, I would admit, getting to actually know the man and seeing what the man actually does for the city and puts out, what his reputation is ain't what he is. Now, I would say that's probably because he's also 20, 30 years older than that era that everybody speaks on. So I wasn't fortunate. And maybe I am fortunate that I didn't grow up in his era when he was running around and doing what he was doing. So, putting on for the city in various ways, putting on for the world, putting on for the culture, putting on for hip hop in various ways. Business, the models he created, the people he put on, you know, the people he inspired. So even for them to put that in, it kind of showed me like the mentality that I have. I like to sum it up. If you have to ask me, if I had to sum it up, my new moniker is, my name is Malcolm Nipsey King. That's my new moniker. That's my new moniker. Call me Malcolm Nipsey King. So if you understand that, then you understand everything about me, because I think between the three of them gave me a great summary, just like the digital DJ Screw mixed with Big Tigger and James Prince with clippers in his hands, Kimbo Slice. I give you a name, Malcolm Nipsey King, and to me that solidifies and summarizes everything that I do, because them brothers to me are one and the same. They just went about it totally different, but they message, they purpose, to me them brothers is one and the same. And I feel like when it's all said and done, I'm gonna earn the right for people to say, yeah, he from that cloth. I think I've done enough so far to say like, hey, I'm moving in that direction. Like when you check they paperwork at 30 and check my paperwork, I'm not saying I did or accomplished nowhere near what the men did by the time they 30. In my own way, I got some things they ain't accomplished either. But what I'm saying is, when you look at what I'm trying to do and my morals and my demonstration and my code and what we trying to create, that's what they were trying to create. That's what they did eventually end up creating, and even more in the afterlife. I just pray that I don't have the ending that those men have. I hope that I, not from a standpoint like I'm scared of death or I ain't scared. No, I'm down to ride. Like, people know to me that we are gonna die in the field. What I'm saying is, I hope to see enough days to where them men didn't get to see, to where them men didn't get to see a lot of all gray hair. I won't see everything gray on this video. Like, one day, y'all looking at me with all this black and a little bit of red mixed in, all gray is what I'm trying to see. Them young men didn't get to see the pleasure and the honor and experience to be able to see the world, experience them. I would be I don't know how it would feel to have a Martin and Malcolm on this earth right now. I do know one thing. Even if Nip was still alive, this world would be different. So you add the other two. I say this. You add the other two, we probably don't get Nip. Not the way Nip became. Them two was alive when he was growing up. Because Nip's an 80 baby. He grew up in the early 2000s and mid-late 90s. So when he was growing up, he was in the heart of the LA culture game. With Malcolm and Martin being alive, I know for a fact the Black Panthers would have been different. We probably wouldn't even got a Black Panther era. Let's be honest about this. We probably wouldn't even got a Black Panther era if Malcolm and Martin never died. Never was murdered. Let's put that in like it is. Was never murdered. We probably don't get the Black Panther era. We probably get Black Panthers, but we don't get the era in which we have with Carmichael and what's the boy Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred, that lost his life at 21. That man was running around here at 21 stepping on shit. I'm be honest, that's another man I don't mention him. I don't think people mention him a lot because ain't nobody did what that man did by the time they was his age. To find people that did what Fred did, you can't look in the modern era. You gonna have to look in ancient times when boys like King David, kings at 13 and shit, King Tut running around this bitch at 12 telling boys what to do, a whole nation. What Fred did. Fred, what he accomplished by the time he was 21 was insane for a 21-year-old. Martin didn't accomplish that. Malcolm didn't accomplish that, what he accomplished. But he accomplished that by watching them men. He studied them. He studied how they got handled. So by the time he was 21, shit, fuck that. By the time he was 12, 13, he was already off the porch trying to continue their work. Subconsciously before then, he was studying, doing his thing. But by the time he got to that 12, 13 range, he hopped off that porch. It was gone. He had already studied the goats and the greats and seen how they was moving and grooving. Only thing I just wish is that Fred Hampton was able to be a little bit older to where he had got some money in his pocket, because he had the mind state about protecting himself. They didn't just have, them boys was young. People don't understand how young the Black Panthers was. They didn't have the resources. They were kids. They were literally early 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 13 or 14. Probably the oldest probably wasn't no more than about 30 in that bitch, probably. So they didn't have the resources that they needed to be able to protect themselves. So what they did with what they did, that's why you got to put them in the Mount Rushmores of demonstrations, because them was kids. Martin and Malcolm was popping as adults. Black Panthers were kids. But that started because they murdered Malcolm, Martin, what's the boy, Everett, I forgot, but I apologize, not trying to mess up his name, but he was a great civil rights leader. He was one of the ones. See, it's a lot of names of people that got murdered that were actually bigger in the time, in the beginning of the civil rights movement than Martin. Martin, to me, no disrespect to Martin legacy, but he is like, he ended up eventually getting murdered, but Martin and me, it's like he is that era's Jay-Z. He was able to survive all the older people. Because if you know, Martin came out when he was 25, 26 when he came out after getting that PhD and all that shit. That's when he came out. So when he came out, Medgar Evers, that's the man's name. Medgar Evers and people like Dick Richard, Dick Gregory, boys was already starting the movement. Shout out to Malcolm OG, not Muhammad, boys and like that was already, moving and grooving, standing on that black power. They had their own little, situation and going about doing it. But when that boy came on the scene, he was just the right mixture of the black man that they needed to be able to take it to where they were trying to take it to, because they were too old. So them old niggas was plantation babies. You see what I'm saying? They were sharecropper kids. And sharecropper kids, if you ever met one of them motherfuckers, is different. They crazy, low key. They don't, hey man, you get to talking there and you talk around them too spicy. They'll stand up with their old ass and try to fight you because they didn't seen it. They didn't seen it. So when they get to talking, they talk different about history because they were the kids of the ones that left. They were the first generation that were free. And the kids that was the first generation that were free, they don't be trying to hear shit we got to say respectfully because they seen it. And I understand why, because we done seen it. So we get to watching these documentaries and thinking this is how the white people was handling us. And when you talk to them sharecropper kids, they remind us that shit was 100 times worse than what we see on the movies. What we see on these documentaries. So boys like Chairman Fred was kids that were inspired by men like Malcolm and Martin, but Malcolm and Martin got to popping when they was grown. So what I'm disappointed in Malcolm and Martin is that at the same time I'm not, because again, you got to go to the previous generation to understand how far they had came. Again, the previous generation before them were the sharecropper kids. So the sharecropper kids got played with. That's like Greenwood and all them kids. They played with them people. Like we took the little reparations that they gave us and built. And never need to go on them side of tracks no more. Them people didn't like that and brought their ass on our side of tracks and played with us, took our shit. Kind of scared our kids, because if you read the Willie Lynch letters, they did the same thing they always do in every era. People like me, the man in the stable like me, what they do is, Richard, you don't want to listen? Cool, we finna beat the hell out of him, kill him, hang him up there, leave him out there in front of everybody. You know why they left us though? I'm sure y'all do. It's a very great understanding and example of you wild out, you next. But what it was telling the little boy, see, in the Willie Lynch letter, if you read the Willie Lynch letters, which I did as a little boy, I went to go download it and read it. The master would be whispering in the women's ear. You don't want that little boy right there to be that man on that damn tree one day. Make sure he don't grow up to think and move like the way he was moving. And what Big Mama would do is, because she trying to make sure that her baby survive, and to this day, if you're a black man, you understand what I'm saying. Your mother still does this. Your mother tells you move a little differently. Most mamas do. Most black mamas move a little differently. And the way they tell you to move differently is to protect yourself. But as a man, when we hear it, that's not how men protect themselves. That's why we get agitated. We start feeling like you calling us. We start feeling like our mama is reiterating what the white boys are saying by like calling us niggers, hard R, calling us boys. When you telling us to make sure you come back home, baby. Fuck that, mom. If I don't make it back, you tell my son about me. Yeah. But mama like, no. Because mom, you got to think, going back to the slavery times, if they keep beating and putting us on them damn trees, who protecting mama? Who loving on mama? Massa. And he ain't really protecting mama. He ain't really loving mama. He fucking mama. Excuse my language for the Slav. I know we ain't came on here, but that's where we at right now. That's what he doing. So in their head, they like, it's a two-part thing. Yeah, Massa whispered in my head, make sure that little boy don't grow up to be him. It's true. But what she also, in the back of her thinking, once I get another man, I got to make sure, or when we raise these men, I don't want a little girl to go through what I'm going through, having to raise 20 kids now by herself because that nigga was too tough to shut the fuck up. Not saying he wrong or right, but what he didn't do was shut up. And now these mamas got to deal with these babies in slavery time with all these kids, and now they getting sent here and sent there. I'm sure that was very stressful. That was what I would call probably the pre-motherfucking adoption agency. That probably had an adoption agency really fucking created, got started off the basis of that. But the Willie Lynchlers was just that. It was the masses telling and teaching the generations how to get here by 2024 and 2025, where we're standing, where I'm sitting and talking with boys, and they don't know they got a crown on their head because it ain't no physical one. So me, I wear that motherfucking cowboy hat because that's my symbol of a crown, physically. Oh, I know I'm a god. I know I'm a king. I don't need one physically, like Nip say. Shout out Nip the way I hustle. It ain't in you. It ain't on you. It's in you. I don't need you niggas to tell me I'm Himothy. Himothy told Himothy he's Himothy. Didn't I just say I was Himothy? So that meant I told me I was him. I didn't. And that's been like that since I was 5. It just get worse every year, every day, every second. Meaning worse in a way to where I believe it more and more, not because I'm just saying it, I believe it more because no, I'm going out there putting demonstration down and we getting them numbers back, and them numbers is looking like triple doubles, putting up stats. And so it's just going to give me the confidence, my practice. I be really in the gym putting up my shots for what it is I'm trying to create. And when you're doing that, when you know you're doing that consistently over 10 years, be cold dead hell if I look another man in his face and tell him he better than me. He going to have to just kill me. Because I believe in it. I done done it. I done accomplished too many things. You know how many times I thought I was going to be dead? I thought it was the end, and God said, no, it ain't. So I don't even think it's finna be the end on this one, so it damn sure ain't finna be. It wasn't the end when I thought it was finna be, and I don't think it's finna be today, so I know it ain't finna be. Boy, man, y'all finna have me go on that tangent where y'all get to crying and my eyes get to swelling up because I get mad. That shit get to playing back. That role get to playing back. Like, it cost me a lot to get here, and I'm grateful and thankful. But boy, did it cost me. And I'll hop on road again if I could. But if I was able to, with the knowledge I have, just knowing I had to go through the similar situations, it wouldn't be fair to them people. Because a lot of them people I wouldn't even go meet with. That'd be part of my problem. I go meet with niggas that waste my time. I've been the one. My first 5 years of doing this, I'll tell anybody watching this, a lot of times we be searching for us. First 5 years, I was putting people on to what I eventually just sat down with myself and said, Richard, stop ignoring me. You hear me. It has to be you. And then after I did that, shit just took off a little bit better for myself. And for my family and for my team, in my opinion, because everybody's standing where they should be standing. And when everybody's standing where they should be standing, everybody playing their role, there ain't nobody complaining. They full. Everybody fat when everybody in their lane. Problem is when everybody is in the wrong lane. You got some people in the right lane, but you got a few people in the wrong lane. So that means we got multiple people in lanes. But I'm just a product of my environment. I'm a product of my intuition. I'm a product of my mind, most of all, though. That's what I will say. I'm not what I was doctoring to believe. You go sit with my people and they'll tell you that. You sit with my people and you talk with them, you will understand that he is different. I'm not saying I'm better. I didn't say better. So don't even get on this live being weird. I said different. Because I'm the worst of my kind. Huh? For the floor? Of course. I'm the worst of my kind. I'll be the first one to tell you. My section? Oh no, I'm the worst. And I choose to be. I want to be because on top of that, I'm the oldest. I'm the leader. I'm the rightful heir to the throne. Not because I want it. Never did. Ask my people. I used to cry about being the oldest as a child. Because to me, like I said, I'm the wildest. I'm the craziest. You putting too much responsibility on me knowing I'm the craziest one in there. And I'm trying to be. I live for the fuck shit. I'm talking about, I don't say standing on couches, business and bitches for no reason. No, that's me. That's what I do. I love to stand on couches, business and bitches. I love that. You can look me in my eyes and say, I love the game. I love the fun shit that come with it, the fuck shit that come with it. I love both sides. Like, to me, that's the game. It's like the basketball. I love the smell of the court. I love the smell of the basketball. I love the angle of the fucking cut of the rim. Everything about it. I love the motherfucker looking me in my face and knocking me down and saying, yeah, boy, standing over me like, what you finna do, Rich? Yeah, you better come back down on this other end and get you some. I love when a nigga popping that shit to me and he got me down, my team losing in that bitch and they on our neck. That shit bring out the best of me. That shit, hey, yo, Rich, wake him up, go get him. It's like the nine-tailed fox, let him out. Let him call the avatar, go in that avatar state. I love that. I love that. Like, man, this is what it's about. This is what this is about, man. So you find you something that you willing to die by, kill by, steal by, and promise you ain't gonna have to do none of that. You ain't look like the Bible says, you know, your gift make room for you. And I can't hold you, nigga. My gift made room for me. Thank you, Lord. You told no lies. Not that I thought you would. I knew you wasn't. I thought that I wouldn't, though. I thought that on road somehow they was gonna get me. It was dark. I thought they had me, man. Well, we made it to here. Potluck, Friendsgiving is going down, man. That was my little tangent, my little speech, my little, yeah, I done went off on something, you know. Now, you know, those who know out my section, they call me Pastor Richie. My little cadence be getting the pastor and shit, but, you know, I just really want people to understand that this shit is possible, man. That this shit possible. What going down, Go?
Hold on. Move my shit out of Texas City.
You good, my nigga?
Yeah, I'm good. Daddy.
Hold on. Let me take you out. I'm on live. Let me end this live. That's perso. Hold on. Don't continue. 1 second. We be back, y'all. We party finna start in the hour. Love y'all. Cowboy reach out. Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. 2 o'clock. Pull up 9223 Main Street. It's going down, baby. I love y'all. It's going down.